So my phone stopped recording in the middle while I was painting and I didn't know, which is unfortunate because now I've added the next layer here and I don't have anything to show for it. So the only thing I can think to do is to just talk you through what I did. I started out by taking a brown, and my brown had a little black mixed in, and I outlined all the doors and windows. All the way around, every door, every window, and then I added this wooden crossing to the upper part of this. I'm kind of picturing this like a hotel. So I did the brown to all the doors and windows. Then I went back and added some extra yellow in the bottom left corner of each of the windows, a slightly darker yellow than what we put on there last time. I mixed up a slightly darker blue, this cobalt blue with a bunch of water, and I dotted that on in a few places, mostly on the left side of some snowy parts, because the pale snow from before dried in a much paler tone than I expected. I also kind of swooshed some snow shadows around down here in front of the houses. Kind of makes them look less like they're floating in space. Just if you want to pause after each one of these little updates I'm telling you, feel free, or you could just think about what your painting is missing or what you want to add to it to make it feel a little more finished. I added some green shutters to this. I painted in the doors. I need to still paint this door, but it's not quite dry enough yet. I added brown trunks. And I think that's all. So I'm going to use my bigger brush now, and I decided I'm going to do kind of a dark blue sky. So I'm just going to paint with water up here and then slowly bring the water down closer to the houses. I'm not going to get too close with this big brush. Now, if you use a lot of water, then the paper will start to buckle and bend. And if you have a sketchbook like this, it's not as big of a problem because the coiling, the binding keeps it pretty flat and contained. But if you have just a plain piece of paper, you might want to tape it down first, or just use a little bit of water for this part. Okay, now with the big brush, I'm going to use pretty dark blue. It's gonna be darker at the top of the painting than down by the houses. So I couldn't remember which of my blues is darker. This one's quite purple. I love watching paint spread like that when there's water. How it only goes where the water is. It's like magic. I'm going to put a little black on this brush and just stripe it across the top. I'm kind of liking this like this. I might just use this medium brush and pull the paint down a little closer to these houses. But I'm not sure that I want it to go much further. Kind of makes the village look like it's glowing a little bit, to have it really light. But if I paint with water and get a little closer to the rooftops, then these sky colors can travel down a little bit farther. I'm gonna use a pretty dry brush and a tiny bit of black and try doing a little swirling smoke from these chimneys. And then just with water, a little bit of water. Okay, the last thing I wanted to do was get the doors on this one painted a little bit more of a green. And I'd like it to be pretty pale. So I'm gonna use the same green color, but I'm moving a little bit out. And now with a wet brush, I'll pick some up and hope that I can fill this in kind of a pale green wash. Like a little hint of green. And I'd really like to do that up above too. I'm just a little bit scared to paint in between all of those lines and have that brown start to run. So I think I'm gonna leave it white for now. We need a couple of doorknobs. Just gonna use black. Oh boy. Blowout. Looks like the doorknobs will have to wait. It's not quite dry yet. Okay, that's where I'm gonna stop now. And if you have made it this far, great. If you stopped a while ago and you felt finished, that's also great. One thing that I'm probably gonna do when this is a little more dry is I'll take some white and add a few stars to the background like we did on our other red winter house painting. And then that's it.